right, welcome everybody. Joe Camerato here. Thanks for tuning in to Grow by Joe, and thank you for watching The Grow Show. I have an awesome entrepreneur here today with us. I have Monique from Pretty N Expedite, and she's going to talk about some really cool successes that she's had growing her trucking business. And she's also been a client of Nationals, which is pretty awesome. And then I think, what's maybe started off as a trucking business has morphed into some really cool different things. So really excited for you to share your story. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Monique? And thank you for being here.
No, thank you for having me, Joe. Thank you. Well, as he mentioned, I am Monique. I am originally from Mobile, Alabama. I started driving trucks, 6 years ago. Got my CDLs, wanted to go see what the 18-wheelers was about. And I was like, no, too much of a truck for me. I can't handle all of this. So I got out of the 18-wheelers. I started driving straight trucks. Okay, straight trucks were fun. Like, how can I do this even smarter with a smaller vehicle? So then I started driving cargo vans. And it was pretty cool, but it wasn't the same money. The smaller the vehicle, the less the money. So then I started driving dually trucks. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm in a Ram 350 with a trailer behind me, have to get out and actually do some work and tie things down. It's like, okay, I can get with that. So then I ran into Chad. National Biz did a business funding for me. And then I wanted to go about getting my own. So what do I want to do and what's easier? What's the box trucks? I got started, let me go back. I got started driving because I said, how can I see the world and make money and be my own boss without anyone standing over me, yelling at me all day or having to make up excuses as to why I don't want to come to work today. You know what I mean? So,
yes, that's awesome. Please be real.
Right. I don't want to be up like, I caught a flat tire and then I go outside and I actually have a flat tire because I've already told a little white lie here. So I got into trucking. I've driven everything that my CDL allows me to drive. So I'm like, okay, now I want to be the boss. But what I didn't know with being the boss is the turnover rate in truck driving is so high because people don't like to be out that long or they want to be at home or they miss family. So now the boss is at work. So I have to come back to work from time to time, which is no big deal because you guys helped me finance this vehicle and you got me some great rates. So they're pretty affordable. If I just want to come out for 1 or 2 days just to pay the truck note that month, it's pretty affordable.
That's awesome. No, I'm so happy that we were able to, help with that. We do a lot of trucking, financing. It's actually one of our bigger industries that we focus on or help and work with. And, I guess, what's kind of interesting is, it's kind of morphed into you created like a program and wrote a book on really like how to really get into the trucking business, which I thought was really awesome. Let's talk about that a little bit. I saw the road to 10K. And I think if you want to check it out, you're interested in it, you can go you can find that at roadto10k.net.
Yes.
But yeah, let's talk about that. And is that road to like 10K per month? Like what is that exactly? And what do you mean by that?
It's actually the road to making $10,000 a week. If you're willing to come out and do those type of things. Yeah. So it's
Even
basically
better.
How to get started. Right. Now it is $10,000 a week, but that is before maintenance, fuel,
gross,
food,
yep.
Things like that. So basically the book tells you how to get started, how to get your business account, how to get the LLC, your EIN. Even if you're just starting out and you don't have your actual business, you have the funds, that you're working with deposited into your business account. And that kind of gives you like, oh, yes, I have a business account. I'm making money now. The eagerness to go out and build it yourself. So it tells you about a lot of mistakes. And I'm going to send you a copy of it as well, Joe.
Please do.
It talks about all of the mistakes I made in the beginning, as far as getting my authority started, how I was so happy to get my authority started that I forgot I needed a truck. This was like 4 years ago. I forgot I needed a truck. And the FMCSA, the Federal Motor Carrier Association, they want you to have insurance on a vehicle within 21 days. So I paid $300. I have my DOT numbers. I'm a carrier, but I don't have a truck.
The trials of starting a business, right? The things that you knew now that you wish you knew then.
Right. Well, along with it came a lot of growth. So I'm glad I didn't know what I knew then, but it only took me like 1.5 years to get everything situated to come out and be my own again. So now I have actually 3 pretty N Expedites. They're all spelled different. One's in South Carolina, one's in Georgia, and one's in Virginia.
Got it. Very cool.
3 different states. Yeah. And, you know, the book just basically tells you how to start your trucking business from scratch.
That's great. And I'm just curious, like what made you want to, put that together and make the book? Like what sparked it?
Well, I actually make YouTube videos. So if you want, you can find me on YouTube at Rain. That's REIGN, Fire, FIRE. And I started with the cargo van. So I had a lot of people asking me questions like, how do you get started? How do you do this? How do you do that? And at that point, I wasn't mentally ready to sit down and talk to like 300 people at one time and keep emailing the same thing over and over again or having consultations. So that derived from the book as well. So now I do have a program where you can get the consultation you need. We'll build a package for you to see exactly how do you want to get started, how far along you are in this. And no matter how far you are, how new you are, we have something ready for you. Well, we help you build your business credits. We introduce you on ways to get money with Grow by Joe, using National Biz to get finance, whether it's, the business funding, daily withdrawals, which I do a lot of explaining of what that is. And it helped me out a lot because, it was a cushion. I didn't really have to dip into my savings and it was the daily deposits. But if anything was to happen, I had you guys and you guys had my back. And I forever love Chad for that.
I appreciate that. And Chad's awesome. And he's a great part of the team and he really cares. And if you're wondering, you're watching this, Chad is one of our business financing advisors here who Monique worked with. And it's really great to hear that feedback. And I'm sure he's going to love to see this on video. But, it's cool. A lot of people don't understand. They hear financing and they think it's, just debt. And it sometimes can like almost pulverize people. But financing is a tool if you use it the right way. And especially if you use it towards, money-making things, which you did. You went out, you bought a truck. You probably used it, used the funding that we gave you. Obviously, the financing for the truck, used for the truck, but any additional funding you probably used to go get more business and to do revenue generating things. And if you do that, it's a great tool if used the right way. If you borrow money and you're not putting it towards things that will make more money, then it just becomes debt. And it's probably not worth taking out, and I think once people really get that, it can be a pretty big game changer in your business. And a lot of people don't really understand that there's all these different types of financings out there whether it's to finance a truck. And when it's a titled vehicle, it's actually easier for us to get done. But then you got this cash flow coming in, you can immediately leverage that cash flow to borrow money. So you can immediately go and do more. And like you mentioned, when you don't have to dip into your personal savings and you can really keep the business separate. So it's really cool to hear, you really understanding that without us having a conversation and taking advantage of it and got your business to where it is today. So much respect to you, because I know it's not easy from, starting a business. And I started National out of my spare bedroom in 2007. And we've grown to it, to be a pretty awesome company, but it was not easy by any means. And it's always slow and steady, in the beginning. And if you keep staying focused, it's pretty cool. You can really take anything that you want as far as you want to, or not. But really great stuff. I love to hear the stories. And, just to wrap up, like what are you the most excited about in your business right now? Like what's getting you out of bed these days?
The knowledge that I have to help others. Trucking is a lucrative business, and there's so many people wanting to go into it. If you're listening and you want to go into trucking and you've never been over this road, my number one piece of advice is drive for someone else. Don't just go out and buy a truck. You may not like it. I sleep in my truck from time to time. Sometimes I may get a hotel or whatever, but it's a different type of living out here. So now when I'm not driving, I reach out to others, or they reach out to me via, like I said, my YouTube videos or my website, or Road to 10K is also the name of Facebook. DM me or whatever, and they ask me advice, and I love that. I love that more than I love driving.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like when you start a business, you start for one reason, then it morphs into something else, and it's funny. Like when you give back, you end up getting more out of that than anything else and making money or whatever it might be. So it's really cool to hear that. And thank you for sharing that and really great stuff. I hope your road Yeah, my pleasure. I appreciate you coming on. I know you're taking time out of your busy day, and your time is valuable. So thank you. And listen, if you're thinking about getting into trucking, like Monique says, please reach out to her. There's like the best picture. I love this picture, and thank you for putting that up there, Monique. That's Monique with her first truck, and I feel like that's like an iconic, classic picture. And I said to Monique, when she builds her empire, she'll always get to look back on that picture because that's where it's all started. So shout out to you, Monique. And thank you guys for tuning in to the Grow Show. If you were thinking about getting a truck and growing, make sure you check out the road to 10K.net. Check out Monique. And thank you for watching the show. Keep growing. Keep doing what you're doing. Be safe and take care.